I'm gonna be white next time. In my next life, I'm Caucasian, and I ain't taking no part in that.
Holy cow, they're throwing bricks at the police.
This is our city, and this was Mexico.
After hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA. You just shut the front.
20 years I told you the police is out there hurting people, and y'all didn't want to believe me. Y'all just said, can't keep getting in trouble. The whole time I was just glad I made it out alive. And finally the chickens have come to roost. We are going to get rid of racism this time, once and for all, no matter what has to happen, folks. It only must be identified. And then, do you understand that people that are not very bright are in charge of nuclear bombs all across the country? That's what he knows. He knows that 30% of all weapons systems are running off regular Wi-Fi. So what does that mean? That means if a solar flare or a meteor hits either one of those, literally a bomb can go off just because the system accidentally got turned off. Yeah, that's what he knows. The people that are in power know that the people that are running the most complicated and deadliest things on the planet are just an average idiot. And you know lots.
Katt Williams just dropped a bomb, and it's shaking the whole city. He's saying the LA riots. Yeah, they ain't what the media's been feeding us. According to Katt, this ain't about justice or outrage. It's a straight-up distraction. He claims there's a secret game being played right under our noses, and it's dark, real dark. This isn't random street chaos. It's a well-planned elite move happening in broad daylight, while we're all too busy staring at burning streets. Katt's been saying it for years, but now it's all coming to a head. Billionaires are mysteriously disappearing. The military's sliding into LA without warning. People are being snatched by plainclothes agents in unmarked vans. No names, no badges, nothing. And the news? Still talking like it's just another cop versus crowd moment. But Katt ain't buying it. He's calling this what it really is. A setup, a smokescreen. While we're glued to the fires and protests, something way bigger is moving in the shadows. And trust, LA's looking like a war zone right now. Flames lighting up downtown. Waymo self-driving taxis, burned down to scrap metal. Protesters are going head-to-head with ICE vans, screaming as folks get dragged off sidewalks without a word. No rights read, no IDs shown. Just gone. And the LAPD? Getting pushed out of their own streets. Corners they used to lock down are now taken over. But here's the real question. How the hell did we get here this fast? It all blew up the moment ICE launched those surprise raids, and they didn't hit trap houses. Nah, they stormed schools, construction sites, parking lots, even a freaking Home Depot. Dozens of undocumented workers just trying to survive were scooped up in broad daylight. No warnings, no mercy, just gone. The second those unmarked vans pulled up, panic tore through Latino neighborhoods across LA like wildfire. Phones were blowing up, streets emptied in minutes. People knew something was off. And guess what? Trump didn't wait on nobody. He didn't check in with LAPD, didn't ask Governor Newsom, didn't even hit up Mayor Karen Bass. Nothing. He dropped 2,000 National Guard troops straight into LA like it was a battlefield. No heads up, no warning, just boots hitting the pavement. And that's when things went full blackout. Federal agents started showing up like shadows, no badges, no uniforms, no cameras, just cold faces in all-black tactical gear, ski masks pulled tight, yanking folks off the streets and stuffing them into vans. No names, no reasons, no voices, just silence. People tried asking what was going on, but got stonewalled. This wasn't law enforcement anymore. This looked like straight-up abduction. You can't call that policing, that's something else. And let's be real, the streets were already boiling. Protests were simmering for weeks, but this lit the fuse. Protesters hit the ground fast, showing up with banners, masks, water bottles in hand, ready to go. And what did they get? Tear gas flying, rubber bullets bouncing off concrete, rooftop snipers locked in, and silent black vans snatching bodies. Back in the Rodney King days, the National Guard didn't even hit the streets until days later. And now suddenly, they're being yanked out of bed and dropped into LA in under 12 hours? Come on, that ain't a reaction. That's a plan in motion. Even the LAPD chief straight up admitted they were blindsided. They didn't even know about the ICE raids until after folks were already getting grabbed. And California? They weren't having it. The very next morning, the state sued the Trump administration for sending in troops without any go-ahead. But while the headlines were obsessed with burning Teslas and shattered windows, nobody stopped to ask the real questions. Like why Trump would send in full-blown military force over some graffiti and a couple street protests? Why did ICE suddenly hit every immigrant-heavy work site in LA, and without warrants? And why are those same masked agents being spotted in cities they're not even supposed to be operating in? This is where Katt Williams stops sounding like a jokester and starts sounding like he's been knowing what's up. Every time he got clowned, called crazy, or dismissed as being off something, he just kept talking. He never backed down, because he knew what was coming. Go back to the 2000s, when every other comedian was chasing sitcoms, playing it cute for brand deals, and begging networks for approval. Katt? Nah, he was already going at the system, calling out the cops, pulling the curtain back on police brutality, and saying the stuff no one else dared to say out loud. And yeah, he paid heavy for it. Katt Williams didn't just get backlash. They came for his whole life. Multiple arrests, slander in the press, and the most twisted part? His own kids got taken from him. Not once, not twice, but 9 damn times. They raided his office right in front of his staff and just snatched his children. No warning, no reason that made sense. That ain't drama, that's real pain. Katt wasn't making stuff up. He was living what whole communities in LA are now starting to feel in their bones. That sense of being watched, targeted, and erased. What he went through solo, whole neighborhoods are getting a taste of it now. And it's terrifying. This is the only way I'll ever feel safe, he said. And looking around LA right now, you can't even blame him. And let's get this straight. This ain't just about ICE. This is about how law enforcement got turned into a full-blown military machine. It's no longer about safety. It's about silencing. It's about making people disappear. It's about control. And the crazy part? LA's starting to look like a real-life version of all the warnings Katt's been screaming about for years. And let's not forget, Katt was one of the first celebs to call out Jeffrey Epstein and those freaky elite parties way before the media picked it up. He was talking Illuminati, secret bunkers, and hidden recruitment games when most folks were still brushing it off as internet fantasy. Katt Williams never played it safe. He named names, pointed fingers, and that made him a threat. He wasn't scared of the consequences, and that's exactly why they came after him. He was one of the first to call out how the media plays us, using shock and outrage not to inform us but to distract us while they quietly shut down the real story. And now look at LA. The only footage we're seeing is fire, looting, and chaos. Clips with no context. But where the hell are the full videos of what's really going down? Where's the footage of the arrests? Where are the ID tags for those masked agents in the vans? Why can't reporters speak to the people who've been snatched? And why are drones flying low over neighborhoods in the middle of the night? Because this ain't about justice. Never was. It's all a setup to keep eyes locked on the chaos, while something else moves under the radar. And Katt? He's been calling this out for years. This ain't some new strategy. It's the polished version of the same old elite tactics they pull every time there's a national emergency. The ghosts in those vans? They're not keeping peace, they're spreading fear. They're the panic delivery squad. And let's be real, these agents aren't chasing gang leaders or armed threats. They're going after peaceful people. Folks handing out water, people filming the madness, protesters holding signs. One girl got snatched just for standing next to a banner that said, "No raids on stolen land." One man got slammed and cuffed for walking away from the scene. And somehow, no one's giving names. No one's giving answers. But Katt? He's the only one saying things that actually make sense right now. So ask yourself this: who's really winning while LA burns? Let's follow the paper trail, because it always leads somewhere shady. Just in the last week, 3 major tech giants pulled out of huge real estate deals in downtown LA. These were companies that were supposed to be building the city up. Now they're gone without a trace. And guess who's sliding in? Mysterious shell companies with quiet foreign ties, scooping up prime property for pennies on the dollar. While everyday folks are out here getting tear-gassed for holding a cardboard sign, the real players are locking down entire city blocks. That's not just dirty business, that's planned destruction. This is chess, not checkers. We've seen this game before. New Orleans after Katrina, Ferguson after the riots, Baltimore after the uprising. Same playbook, different city. The outrage? Real. But the aftermath? It's a feeding frenzy for developers and real estate sharks. Communities cry out and billionaires cash in. The people who actually live there? Evicted, displaced, erased from the story? And LA? That's the ultimate jackpot. It's the playground of the richest on the planet. We're talking Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, all of them. And guess what? Not one of them is in LA right now. They bounced. While the city's going up in flames, they're off-grid, chilling in secured hideouts. Elon? Silent. Not a peep about the city burning. Just a random tweet about rockets and Mars, while the streets down here are straight-up war zones. And here's the twisted part. Protesters are getting arrested under surveillance drones powered by Tesla tech. Elon's own creations are now being turned against the very people he once claimed to care about. The money trail just got even wilder. Because private security contracts in SoCal? Skyrocketing. Companies that thrive off fear are getting paid big time. Surveillance firms are locking in fat new deals with the government, while prison contractors are watching their budgets blow up to handle all the new detainment needs. Translation? Every arrest you see on TikTok is someone else's payday. And don't forget, the National Guard doesn't show up for free. Their presence comes with a massive bill. The feds are now pouring hundreds of millions into riot control. That means riot gear, military-grade weapons, armored vehicles, high-tech surveillance towers, all going straight into the pockets of defense contractors. The same folks who've been pushing wars across the world? Yeah, now they're stacking cash right here at home. While LA gasps through clouds of tear gas, while ICE vans sweep up families, and while masked agents toss people into ghost trucks, somewhere far away, a very different reality is playing out. Behind a 6-foot privacy wall in Hawaii, surrounded by NDAs and silence, Mark Zuckerberg's $270 million underground fortress is almost done. And no, this ain't a theory. It's on public record. This thing is a monster. Let's talk specifics. 30 bedrooms, an underground food vault, state-of-the-art air filtration, independent energy grids, full-on escape tunnels. This isn't a rich guy's panic room. This is a reset button for civilization, the kind of setup you build when you know something's coming and want to ride it out in luxury while the rest of the world burns. Dig a little deeper, and the picture gets even darker. Property records and insider leaks are showing that billionaire after billionaire is bailing on LA. They're not just selling off their mansions, they're relocating assets, ditching the city, and going underground. Literally. Peter Thiel? He bought land in New Zealand years ago, and now he's building a whole damn fortress out there. Jeff Bezos? He's locked down a massive ranch in West Texas, complete with its own airfield and a self-powered energy system. And Elon Musk? He ditched all his California real estate and is now bouncing between Austin and top-secret underground SpaceX sites. Like, why are they all vanishing at the same time? Katt Williams has a theory. And yeah, it sounds crazy, until you realize it lines up too perfectly. According to Katt, these billionaires aren't just reacting to what's happening now, they already know what's coming next. And it ain't just another wave of protests. He's talking full-blown system failure, either a legit collapse or a carefully staged one designed to look like chaos. And here's where it gets bone-chilling. These bunkers they're building, they're not just for safety, they're for selective survival. You don't drop hundreds of millions on a fully self-sustaining underground city unless you're planning to outlive something major. These hideouts got everything: food reserves, filtered air, private energy, and even escape tunnels. But here's the real kicker. They're built with military-grade security and AI surveillance systems. That tells you everything. They're not scared of disasters, they're scared of us. And Katt Williams wants you to see through the smoke. If these billionaires are gearing up for something they won't even say out loud, what does that really tell us? You don't drop 9 figures on bunkers and tech just because you're worried. You do it because you got a plan, a calculated one. Katt's been yelling this from stages for years. That Jeffrey Epstein? He wasn't just some sicko outlier. He was a connector, a plug, a middleman for something way bigger. And every time the public thinks it's over, another rich freak crawls out from the shadows and picks up right where Epstein left off. Because that's the cycle. Unrest on the surface, and while everyone's looking at protests and smoke, the real power plays are going down behind the scenes. That's where the elite move. In silence, in the shadows, in control. So don't just scroll past this. Wake up, ask questions, look closer. Make sure to like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you think. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And until then, we'll see you in the next one.